Donald Trump, which has he's never been as accepted by Hollywood as he believes he should be, apparently now decides, well, if they won't have me, they can't have anything, and he's gonna kill the entire thing with some new tariffs. His one tool for every non-problem. He said he wants to put 100% tariffs on movies produced in foreign lands, which is how normal people speak. He bleated this: the movie industry, capital M, capital I, in America is dying a very fast death. Other capital C countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw filmmakers and studios away from the US. Hollywood and other areas are being devastated. This is a concerted effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat. Well, I mean, everything is. Everything has to be a national security threat so that you don't have the law, separation of powers, the Constitution, and everything is fixed by tariffs because his brain can't hold any other solution in his mind. So what do you know? He combined those two things here. He says it is, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. So he wants to do 100% tariffs on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. Okay, so they do incentives in other places to draw filmmakers. Is that true? Yes, there are some incentives. You know where else we do that? In America. There's crazy incentives in, like, for instance, in Georgia right now, they do all those incentives to draw people to Atlanta and everything. Is that a problem? Should California have a tariff against Georgia or whatever? And there's some wild consequences of this, which we will get to, because apparently this is gonna happen. Howard Lutnick immediately bows down, kisses that floor and says, "We're on it. Oh, Avengers assemble. We're on it, sir. What a great idea. This isn't crazy at all, sir. I'm just gonna do this." And so he's gonna do that. And by the way, have we lost, for instance, in Hollywood, film production here? Yeah, and it's actually a big problem. Is this the solution? I don't think anyone thinks so, but what would he know? He's not in the film industry. And so he wants to do this massive tariff. Now that is going to affect not only libs or Chinese movies or whatever. Mel Gibson, apparently, one of the 3 Hollywood special ambassadors appointed by Trump, which includes John Voight and it pains me to say, Sylvester Stallone, he was planning to shoot his Passion of the Christ sequel in Italy. Oops. I guess you won't be able to do that, I suppose. In Europe, producers are apparently pretty concerned about what this might do. One said, "This makes no sense. It implies that a US film is meant to shoot in the US. But the Harry Potter films, Lord of the Rings, Schindler's List, Mission Impossible, Gladiator, Aviator, and so many more are US films that shot overseas for obvious reasons. Do these films have to shoot in the US from now on? It's an absurd announcement with no meaning nor understanding of storytelling or creative impulses." By the way, recently, Deadpool and Wolverine, Wicked, Gladiator 2, all big movies that have shot outside of the US. I just saw Thunderbolt. Some of that was shot outside of the US. I feel like Sinners was probably mostly domestic, but it's just a thing that happens. And JR, if we do this to them, they're probably gonna do it to us, which means Hollywood, which would very much like to have its movies play in other countries, in particular in China, maybe kiss that goodbye. And if you really want to kill Hollywood fast, this seems like the fastest possible way to do that. But what do you think?
Well, that's the plan. But also, I think about it. He mentioned, I think in that post, it's messaging and propaganda. He says every accusation is an admission. So he's concerned about how film and TV many times depicts society or depicts harmful people, or just kind of has this take on life and tells a story. And many times it shows people like him and the ways he is and the way his brain thinks and the way people take over things, or maybe even historical films, maybe in a take on a historical thing. He doesn't like because it'll show what life is and what it has been like, and maybe aspects that people don't know about. And maybe they come to conclusions that make their brains go, yeah, you know what? I don't like this guy. Every time, because he needs to control what he calls the messaging and the propaganda. He wants to control that so that no matter what he does or says, he can make folks think that what he does and says is on the up and up when it's actually destructive to their lives. He can't take it. He cannot take it. He can't take it from a third party. He can't take it from a creative avenue. He can't take it. This is the weakest human being that's ever existed in humanity. It's horrific how weak this guy is. If you flick him with your fingernail, he like freak out. He can't take anything. This is a weak sumbitch. So he doesn't like movies that depict all this stuff because he has to be the one to do it. He's afraid of stuff. He doesn't know how things work. He doesn't know how the presidency works. He doesn't know how Congress works. He doesn't know how the judiciary works. He doesn't know how government works. He doesn't know how film and TV works. But he wanted to be in it all the time. I'm a big star, I'm the big guy, and that's how it works. He doesn't know how anything works. The combination of his fear and his softness and his stupidity is beyond measure. It's all combined into one narcissistic piece of garbage person. And if we weren't on this show, I'd say something different. And I better stop before I do.
I would love to. I'm not able to do it, but maybe you might have to as we proceed to our next story in a sec. But yeah, he wishes that Hollywood loved him. And they don't. Lots of the famous people that he looks up to don't like him, so he wants to kill the industry. I think it's as simple as that. And people are speculating. A lot of people are like, wait, how are they doing a sequel to The Passion of the Christ? Which is a good point, and I hadn't really thought about it. And what would you even call it? Someone said the passion. Oh, Occam Stazer says the Passioner of the Christ. I think it's technically Too Christ, Too Furious, actually, is the way it would go. You'd be mad too if it happened to you. But anyway.
It's gonna be about Easter. It's gonna be called The Comeback.
The comeback kid of God.